all your April 2020 horoscopes. I know I'm a little late, but really it doesn't matter too much because a horoscope is a horoscope at the end of the day. So let's start with Aries because April is the month that rules Aries. Aries is the sign of fire. Aries is the fire that is the wildfire. You cannot control it. You cannot contain it. Um, it's the starter. It's the cleaning fire. It's the fire that you need in order to make the ashes, to put into the earth to grow new plants. So it's a very essential sign. Therefore, what does it mean for Aries for this month of April 2020? It means that for Aries, this is a time of you figuring out what new projects you want to do, what new projects you have for yourself, because this is a good time to implement them and make them grow for the future. So you have a lot of thinking to do, but you don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to overthink it. You just want to put it into the future and hope and pray that what you're putting into the future will come to fruition eventually. Okay, so let's move on to Taurus. Taurus is also a sign that is shared with the month of, that is in the month of is in the month of April. It's in the month of April. So it shares it with Aries. However, Taurus is an earth sign and it's a fixed sign. So it likes to stay in its own lane. It likes to do its own thing. And Taurus for April 2020, this is a time, right now, during this month, is a time for you to start figuring out what new things you want to do. And usually, actually, let me make this as a disclaimer, because most people think that just because you belong to one sign, whatever you say about that sign, that's it, nothing more. We just have to go with what that sign means. No, that's not how astrology works. In fact, within the signs, you will have a Taurus, and you have like 5 different Taurans in one Taurus, meaning that not every Taurus is the same. Okay? Not every Taurus is the same. So you are not limited to anything. Simply what I'm saying in this horoscope is a very, very, very broad and general analysis of what could be happening in your life and what you can plan for in the future. So for Taurus, it's more about you all planning for what's to come ahead. You have to start clearing out your home. You have to start clearing out your space, clearing out your mind. You have to start preparing for what's to come next. Because really, you can wish for anything, you can want anything, and you can get anything. But if you don't plan for it, if you don't prepare for it, then what's the point? You won't know what you really need or what you don't need. So make sure you make the plans and also clear out your space to prepare for them. Okay, let's move on. Gemini. Gemini is an air sign, and it's a mutable air sign. It's the only mutable air sign. It's the sign of the twins, as they say. But really, Gemini gets a bad rep, and I don't know why Gemini gets a bad rep. And I think that's actually popular social media doing that, because the truth is, Gemini is actually a very beautiful sign. It's the sign there's different parts, like I said, to each sign. But in Vedic astrology, it's the sign that is associated with Buddha. So it's the sign of peace and knowledge and gaining consciousness, gaining spiritual knowledge. So for this month, This is a very it's a very active time for Gemini's mind. This is a time where Gemini is coming up with new thoughts, new refreshing thoughts of who they want to be, forming their personality and forming how they interact with other people. Because with air signs, it's funny how air signs can plan things. They can plan things in their head and then manifest them. But this month for Gemini, Gemini has the drive to create new ideas in their head and want to manifest them. So there will be a lot of that going on. And my advice to that is the best way to manifest ideas, because if you have a lot of ideas coming in, you want to write them down. You want to talk about them to the right people. You want to record them so that you can look back and say, did I acknowledge these ideas that I have? Did I attain these goals that I have? Okay, now for the Cancer. Cancer, like the ocean. Cancer is a water sign. It's the water, it's the salt water, the water of the ocean. So it's very grand, and you cannot directly drink ocean water. It's very salty, right? Yeah, Cancer is like that. It gives you so much abundance, but it doesn't give it to you directly necessarily. It gives abundance to those who own it, to those who work for it, I meant to say. So, for this month of Aries, it's interesting because Aries and Cancer are, they make a challenging aspect together, right? So, in this month, a Cancer person may feel very challenged within themselves of if they're worthy of something, if they're worthy to have something. And really, one's worth is not about what other people say necessarily. If not, it's about what the individual says about themselves. Because the individual knows how hard they've worked, what they look like at night, what they look like in the bathroom, what they look like in the mirror, who they really are, what their thoughts are. If you know that you're not putting in the work that you need to put in to do something, then you don't feel worthy of it. But you cannot feel worthy of it, but you want to make a placebo effect on yourself to say that you are worthy of it, because you don't want to put the work in for whatever reason. Sometimes you can't. But whatever reason that you have not put the work in, you look for outside influences to tell you that you are worthy of it. And when the outside tells you what is going on inside, and that message comes back that you are not worthy of it because you already know you're not, but you're looking for it outside, and the outside tells you you're not, then you're gonna get that message. But if you put the work in, do it like this. You put the work in, you know you're worthy of it, you look for outside influences that show you, that reflect that yes, you are worthy of it, you are right, then you feel worthy. But you don't want to make a mess out of your emotions. You don't want to make a mess, because you don't want to make a mess. Trust me. You don't want to make a mess. The Aries energy is very burning, and when it burns, the salt water, it's too much. It's too much. So with Cancer, my advice is to be organized in the way you're thinking. And before you move on to another step, you want to reflect back to make sure that everything is lined up the way you need it to be. Don't just move on without checking that you have what you need. Okay? Alright. There is something in my eye. I'm sorry. Okay. Next sign is Leo, the lion. So Leo is a sign of fire as well. But this fire is slightly different from that of Aries. It's the fire that is very stable. It's the fire like the sun that you expect every day, that is there, burning powerfully. And it's on Earth, it can be seen as the fire of like a campfire, the fire that you make with wood, because it's also stable. It's in the center and it burns very controlled, and it's very much there for you so that you can use it. It's a very resourceful fire. So Leo replicates this metaphor of the campfire and the solar energy, the sun. And I do see that in Leo, that there is this need to be there for others by being yourself. And during this time of April, Aries month, well, you're going to want to focus on yourself more. You're going to want to focus on the fire within you. What can you do for yourself? Because regardless, the more you build yourself, the more you build others around you. That is what your fire does. It doesn't break down necessarily. It builds. So you want to focus a lot on yourself and what your capabilities are. This is a very creative time for you. You can do a lot. You have a lot of potential. Okay. So let's move on to Virgo. Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. And it's very interesting that Virgo is one of the most interesting signs for me, because it's an earth sign, but it's very airy to me, because because it is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet that also rules Gemini, which is an air sign that we already talked about, and it goes around the sun very fast. It's the closest planet to the sun. So that means that Virgo is also a planet that is Virgo is also a sign that is about communication. It's about quick thinking, like quickness, like let's get this done. There's a problem, there's a resolution, quickness. But it's also an earth sign, so it's like, it's not quickness like a Gemini that just like flows. It's more so like building, and stability. Like once a Virgo builds an idea, they want to keep that idea and grow with that idea. Okay, so it's a very intelligent sign, actually, and it's also the sign of health. Okay, so with this month of April, Aries season, this is a good month for the for the Virgo, to focus on their discipline. And usually Virgo has a lot of discipline, but this is more like a challenge now. This is more so like, how much discipline do you got, Virgo? Yeah, how much you got? This is what Aries is telling Virgo. Oh, you got discipline? Oh, let's see. We'll really see how much you got. So that's really what the stars are saying to Virgo. Like, really stay on your toes, really dot those I's and cross those T's, Virgo. And whatever you got going on in your life, because everyone has a different life. So whatever is going on in your life, make sure you're on top of it. Next sign is Libra. Libra is an air sign, and it's an air sign ruled by Venus, which is supposedly the planet of love. But you know what? Venus is the planet of love, but it's also the planet, is really the planet of sharing. And love is something that is shared. So it doesn't just mean romantic love, it also means wealth, it means gaining, it means giving. It's the balance. It means loving, how should I say it? Loving everyone, loving ideas, loving your spirituality, whatever you have a passion for. And that's why Libra also rules trades and market, because the reason why people buy things is because they need it, because they have a passion for it, because they love it. So that's what love is about in astrology. It's not just love in romantic relationships, it's love as many ways you can think of it. So when Libra is, for Libra's horoscope in this month of Aries month, which is the opposite sign of Libra, this is really a test of love. But let me tell you something, Libra. Let me tell you that it's actually the challenges that make you grow. Without the challenges, you would not become a better person. You would not learn new things. You would not learn new things. Sorry, my phone is dying. You would not grow into your ideas, because Libra is a very how should I say it? It's a very tough sign. It's hard to knock them down. It's hard. Libra has so much spirit, and especially in relationships, especially with the things that they love. So this is like a test of love. It's kind of like Virgo. How strong is their discipline? Well, Libra, how strong is your love? Really show your love. And guess what? Love is abundant. Yeah, love is abundant. There's so much of it because it doesn't exist in quantity. It's not a material item. Okay, so yeah, you got your horoscope, Libra. Now you know when things seem to be falling out of place, when you start feeling like you're giving up, things are not working out, your husband, you fighting, your relationship, it's kind of not too good. Money in the bank, not. Just things are not looking as good as you planned it, or as good as they've been looking. Well, don't give up. Know that you have so much love within you, that it's with your love that you can manifest things. It's like, seriously, for real. You have to look at what you don't have. You have to look at the philosophy of it, your own philosophy, and then use that to drive you to figure out new ways to gain what you need to gain. Okay, let's move on. After Libra is Scorpio. Dun, dun, dun. Scorpio, this is one of the other signs that social media just keeps hyping up. And then they say, Scorpio is the devil, Scorpio is associated with sex, Scorpio sex, Scorpio sex, Scorpio sex, Scorpio sex. Like, come on. There's more to Scorpio than that. Way more to Scorpio than that. And it's another word that has been taken only for what its meaning is in the dictionary. Sex as a physical act of love, supposedly. Well, guess what? In astrology, if you take that word sex, it's actually been diluted so much through the years that what they're really saying about Scorpio is that it's a sign of intimate connection. It's a sign of getting to really know something deeply, for under the surface, under the cover. So that's with anything, and usually it's about knowledge. That's why Scorpio is the sign that rules psychology, because it's the sign that is willing to go into the psyche and figure out what's going on. Also, Scorpio is known for being scientists, because they're willing to dig deep and keep going to finding and discovering new things. And that's why, hence, Scorpio is the sign associated with sex, because of the depth of that there is in sex. Okay, so with the month of Aries, or I should say with the month of April, with Aries being the zodiac ruler of April, majority of it, Scorpio is now going through a time of passion, because Scorpio and Aries are ruled by the same sign. They're ruled by Mars originally. Yeah, they say Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, but that's the co-ruler. And besides, Pluto was a planet that was found way later. Way later. So originally it's ruled by Mars. And since they have this planet in common, they have a similar nature. But they have two different elements, so that nature is manipulated in a different way. Such as Aries has a fire Martian nature. So it's just straight, pure rawness, just raw. While Scorpio has a rawness too, but more in a, how should I say, in a feminine, watery way, because it's a water sign, it's ruled by water. But it's nonetheless raw still. But Scorpio is more likely to be very kind, very soft at first, and then if you do something or however you react, they will react in a very unexpected way. Whereas Aries will react the same way, and they'll show you exactly how they feel at the beginning. So what does this mean? This means that Aries and Scorpio is a very compatible energy this month, and it really brings out the passions. It's similar to the Leo horoscope, is bringing out the passions of the Scorpio. So now is a good time to express any passions that may be hidden within the individual, within you, Scorpio. So no longer keep it under the cover, no longer hide. Just be honest with whoever it is that you need to be honest with. Even if it's yourself, be honest. Okay, next we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius. The archer, the centaur, the one with the arrow, yeah. Sagittarius is a fire sign as well. As you know, fire and fire, they're friends. So you can see, Sagittarius, that this is a good month for you. Or is it? Well, Sagittarius is an interesting sign because okay, in Greek mythology, in Greek, how should I say it? In Western astrology, which is from Greek mythology, Sagittarius is represented by the centaur, which is a half man, half horse. Okay, so that means that from the legs up to the waist is a horse figure, meaning it has 4 legs, has a horse booty, it has a tail, okay? But the abdomen to the head is a human. So they have human arms, hands, human stomach, digestive system, human heart, human head, human features, okay? What does that mean about the Sag? It means the Sag has a dualistic nature. But it's interesting because the Sagittarius individual wants to attain a very direct nature, okay? What does this mean? This means that a Sagittarius seeks knowledge. It seeks to know as much as it can, very broad, from right to left. And they want to take from what they got from the right and the left, put it in the center, make something out of it that is new, that is the truth, okay? That sees both sides, that sees both the black and the white, the right and the left. And that's why Sagittarius, they're always seeking this truth, because they're always studying on both sides. They have this dualistic nature, half man, half horse. So when it comes to the month of April and the time of Aries, Aries is a very straightforward nature. They're not too interested in seeking what's left and right. In general, right? In general, because you have different types of Aries, you have different signs within your horoscope, you know. But in general, talking about astrology, Aries nature is very direct. And this means that the Sagittarius is going to feel the directiveness nature part of their horoscope. They're not going to be too much into seeking the left or the right and the left. You know, they're not going to be too much into seeking the black and the white, both sides of the pictures, the whole world. Now they're looking at what they've got in their hands and they want to make something out of it. Okay, so it's a very initiative time for Sagittarius. All right, let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, actually, believe it or not, Capricorn is a lot like Sagittarius because it's also represented in Greek mythology as a, what do you call it? As Pan, you know Pan from Pan's Labyrinth, the goat man? I don't know what they call it. Not centaur. This creature is this creature that is a goat, but it walks on two legs as if it is a man. So what does that mean? It's an animal that believes that it's a man. So Capricorn has a very earthy nature. It has a very simple nature, but yet it's one of the most creative signs. It's so creative. It can come up with the most otherworldly things you could not even imagine. Okay? And they're always dreaming. Capricorns love to dream and just be in another place. But the really cool thing about Capricorn sign is that they can dream and be in another place while still having their feet on the ground, while still earning an income, while not losing it completely. Okay, so they're very balanced between the heavens and the earth. Okay, so what does that mean for this time of Aries? Well, Aries is very much, like I said, directive, straightforward energy. And with the sign of Capricorn, Capricorns are going to feel like, where are they now? What is their goal? What is their purpose? What are they doing? What new dream do they have? Or what dreams have they not attained? Have they not fulfilled? And why have they not fulfilled them? Okay, so it's very much a time of like organizing oneself for the Capricorn. It's a time of organization, and it may make the individual feel like forced or that they have to move faster, but that's life, you know. If you have to pick up the pace, then pick up the pace a little bit, you know. Do what you gotta do, but don't feel like you have to conflict the energy, like you have to contradict it. What else do I want to say? I wanted to say that in medical astrology, Capricorn rules, among the many things that it rules the bones. Okay, it rules the bones. So that goes for teeth bones, bones in the body, the bones. And also, actually, it rules the skin. Not necessarily because Mercury rules the skin too, meaning Gemini and Virgo. But Capricorn rules the skin because the bones are connected to the skin. The skin comes from the bones, right? You have the bones and then you have your skin. So therefore, Capricorn rules the bones and the skin. All right. So Aries. Now let's look at Aries since we're in the month of April, which is ruled by Aries. Aries rules the brain, the nerves that connect from the brain throughout the body. So the neurological system, the nervous system. Okay. So therefore, if Aries rules the brain, then Aries rules the head as well, because the brain is where the head is where the brain is located. Okay. So with that being said, this is a time of, okay, the bones, how should I put this? Okay, so the bones need to be very stable. They need to be taken very good care of, as well as the skin, right? If you neglect your nutrition, you're gonna be bad. You're gonna be, as we can see, your nutrition is very important. What you intake and how you take care of your body outside is very important. Okay, there's a lot of work that is being put into that. So Capricorn is about work. You get where I'm going here. Capricorn is about work. And Aries is about the mind. So you have to balance the body and the mind. That's what I'm saying here. Balance the body and the mind. Balance the dreaming and the working. Like going to work and your hustle and what you're doing and your goals. Yeah, balance that and what you dream and aspire for yourself. And you will find that you get somewhere. But if you do not balance that, if you neglect one or the other, then you will find that you have a lot of conflicts and constraints within yourself. Why? Because they are connected. You see? So that's my advice for Capricorn for this month. All right, let's move on. Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign as well. Now, Aquarius is different from Capricorn. Even though they're ruled by the same planet, they, like I said, when a sign is ruled by the same planet but a different element, it creates a different nature. So even though Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, it's an air sign. So it has more of the fluid-like qualities of Saturn. Excuse me. So Aquarius cannot, I'm not saying it cannot completely, but Aquarius has to do one thing or the other. Not so much like Capricorn, where they can be dreaming up so many dreams, going crazy, but still have their feet on the ground. No. Aquarius is either going crazy or they have their feet on the ground. Like, it's one or the other. It's not both of them at the same time. So in this month of April, for Aquarius, I'd advise to have one or the other. And to use the energy, the Aries energy, to promote your goals and aspirations. Because the Aries energy gives a lot of discipline. And discipline will actually help you in manifesting what you want to manifest. Getting things done. Like the things that you said, I want to do this, but you don't really do them. Now is the time to do those things, because when this time is over, it's gonna be not as easy, because you're gonna have other things that come into your life that will put that to the side, and you don't want to put that to the side. Really, you want to get it done. So let the Aries energy help you get it done. Okay, so that's my advice for Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. Pisces is the sign of, it's a mutable sign of water. So it rules the feet, and it's also connected to the fishes. So it's like, you know how Cancer is the ocean and everything that's in it, the salt water? Well, Pisces is like the fresh water, the river. But really, the fresh water and the salt water are connected. However, with that being said, what does this mean of Pisces in a time of Aries? Well, Pisces, my advice is to I would say Pisces is also experiencing a creative energy too, because Pisces is a very creative sign, and this is a time for Pisces to be putting it all together to make a new start. You know the term spring cleaning? This is the perfect term for Pisces. Spring cleaning within your home, and really your home is represented by your body and by your home that is outside of you, that the one you live in, I mean. So this is a good time for cleaning yourself, really. Yeah. So that you can experience the new flow, the creative energy. If you want to understand more, when I say cleaning yourself, where I'm getting that from is that because Pisces rules the feet and Aries rules the head, the feet and the head are the farthest points on your body from each other. But yet, it's like they can connect. They do connect through your body. You get what I'm saying? So, what does this mean? This means that it's like Pisces is the end and Aries is the beginning. And you, in order to get to the beginning, you have to complete an end. In order to get to the end, you have to start in the beginning. So Pisces in this time is saying, okay, for me to start a new beginning, I have to go through everything I need to go through and complete the end so that I can have a new fresh start. Because you want a new fresh start. It's important. You have to have a new fresh start in life so that you can grow and experience new experiences and also reflect on the past and to just be healthy. You want to be healthy and whole. Okay, so that is my horoscopes for all the signs, all the 12 signs for this month of April. And yeah, thank you for watching Freshwater Astrology. I'm Kayasi Obasi, and just comment and tell me what you think, if you enjoyed this, and if you have anything you have to say, or if you have any questions. And yeah, check out my blog, Freshwater Astrology. I write articles and stuff, and I'm also going to write more, so keep following me.